number 3. Which is called announcement discussion. Okay. I don't need that. All right. There it is. Okay. All right, so announcement discussion. The first thing you have to do is read a passage for 45 seconds. And this will be the announcement. Okay, that's why it's called announcement discussion. So the announcement will be one of two things. Either, number 1, something that has changed, or number 2, a requirement. What I mean by that is, for example, with change will be something like the hours of the library have changed. It used to be open only until 10 p.m., but now it's open until midnight. Okay, so the old system was till 10, but now it's till midnight. Something has changed. And when you're taking notes, you want to get down whatever it was that changed. If it's a requirement, my favorite one is, I want a refund. I want my money back, right? And so then what the announcement will do is probably give you a list of items that you would have to follow in order to get your refund, okay? The other ones that are classic are like, oh, I want to take Economics 101. Well, here's what you have to do. You have 5 writing papers you have to write. You have to give an oral presentation, things like that. Usually there's a list, and all you need to do is copy down just a few from the list, okay? You never know which one that the speakers will focus on, but you just want to get some of that information down. And then there will be a conversation between 2 lovers. No, I'm kidding. Not 2 lovers. A man and a woman. They're not in love. And one of them will have the opinion. Let's say the woman has the opinion. It could be the man. You never know. They're going to have an opinion on the announcement. They're going to say that announcement is fantastic, or they're going to say, I hate that announcement. So in your notes, you want to write down plus or minus. Get their position on the announcement. And then that person will give reasons why they have that opinion, usually 2 to 4 reasons, okay? The other person says things like, what's wrong? Oh, really? Okay, goodbye. Right, and that's it. So usually you don't have to focus on the other person so much. Just try to take notes on it all, though, because you never know. Sometimes it's trickier. All right, so for example, let's say the woman loves the announcement that the library hours have changed until midnight. She says, this is fantastic. I'm going to be able to study more. I'm going to be able to, this is really great because my job ends at 9:30. And so now I can really spend more time in the library. I'll be able to form a study group with some other students that I never get to meet with. Okay, things like that. So there will be reasons why the person likes or dislikes the announcement. And then after that, it's showtime. You have to prepare for 30 seconds. Okay? And that's a lot more time than before. Question 1 and 2, we only had 15 seconds. Now we have 30 seconds because you have more information. And so when you're speaking, you need to prepare these things. Number 1, you should state the announcement. Quickly describe what the announcement is about. Is something changing? Are there requirements? Whatever it is. Try to spend about 15 seconds maximum setting up the situation, okay? And then, number 2, you want to give the students opinion. You want to clearly say the student likes this announcement. The student disapproves of this for many reasons. You need to give that piece of information there. Please don't forget it. The grader is listening for it. Very important. And then number 3, you're going to give the student's reasons. You need to explain why that student has that opinion. And then after that, you want to say your opinion and why, right? Give your opinion. No, never. Thank you, Jerome. Do not give your personal opinion on this question. They do not ask for it. Do not do it. And sometimes we run out of things to say and we have too much time. And so then sometimes people go, well, yeah, that sounds great to me. I do the same thing. Don't say that. The trick here is that you want to try and give as much detail about those reasons as you can while mentioning them all, okay? So that's pretty much the challenging part there. So when you're preparing for this question, number 1, you should ask yourself, how many reasons are there? And number 2, what are they? Okay, those are the 2 most important questions that you have to ask yourself. If you're more advanced, you could also ask yourself, which is the longest? Meaning, which one would take the most time for you to explain, and maybe you want to save that for the end. Some people do that because then they can just try and give as much detail as possible until the response time is over. So that's an advanced strategy there. I'm leaving out a couple other questions because these tend to be the easiest ones. Obviously, A, you should know what the announcement is, right? What is the announcement? You should know that. But if you don't, you need to figure it out in the 30 seconds. And then B, you also need to know what is the student's opinion. Now, the reason why I'm not putting these steps in here is because usually we know what those 2 are. Okay, those tend not to be so tricky. Sometimes they are, but usually we know the answer to these right away as we read and hear them. And so really the hardest part is how many reasons were given. That's the hard part. And by the way, when you're speaking, don't say the first reason is, the second, the third. Don't give numbers. Just say one reason is, da, 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 da. Another one, right? But don't try to give an exact number because maybe there were 4 reasons and you only got 3. Okay? So don't give that away. All right. Any questions about this one before we try it? Okay, let's get our feet wet here. Let's try it. By the way, now this is different than the last 2 weeks. When we practice, when you look at the reading for 45 seconds, I'm going to ask you to close your book, okay? Just close your book after that because then we're going to take notes on the conversation and you'll hear the question. The question should never be a surprise. The question is always the same. The question is, what is the student's opinion and what reasons do they give for having that opinion? That's it, okay? So they'll tell you the gender of the person, but almost always that's never a surprise. So what I like to do is we'll open the book to read, but then I want you to close it because it's very tempting to look back in the book. But on the real test, the reading goes away forever. You never get to look at it again, okay? So the best practice is close that book afterwards. That's what we're going to do. Hold on one moment. Let me get the track ready, and then we're going to do a practice. All righty. Okay, so we're on page 311. 311. Go ahead and open up to that. And don't start reading yet. Okay, so now we can start reading the passage entitled Training Course for Tutors. You have 45 seconds after the beep. Beep.
The woman expresses her...
Okay. So the reading, is it something that has changed or a requirement? Very good. Requirement. They try to trick us in that first sentence. Everybody turn to page 311. And they try to trick you in the first sentence by saying this is a new course, right? So you think it might be a change. But the whole paragraph is just telling us a list of things for this program. And so, Rachel, what did you write down in your notes for the announcement? Oh, no, hold on, not her. I mean from the reading. Yeah. What'd you get down from the reading? Nothing. Okay. There's a tutoring course, definitely. Okay. I'll just call it TC up here. And what are the main components of it, of the tutoring course? What are the main parts? Well, yeah, what is it made of, right? It's a requirement, so they tell us what that course involves, right? What does it involve? Anybody? What does the tutoring course involve, Frank? Oh, okay, that's the subject, math and writing. That's fine if you wrote that down, math, writing. But I mean, how does very good, Maria, discussion, right? One part of it is going to be a discussion, and what's the other part? Practical experience, okay? I'll just put PE there, okay, which happens to be my initials, Peter Ellis. But anyways, practical experience. That's what you want to do. You want to look at the reading and you want to see, okay, line 3, discussion class. Line 4, in their practical experience, and see, oh, okay, so the course is broken up into 2 parts. That's all. Just general information. Don't get lost in the details here. They give a lot of details. You don't want to repeat any of that. Don't just read from the passage. Don't just copy down a sentence. But what you want to do is just get the overview. Okay, now let's get to the woman and her opinion. This one is a little tricky. A little tricky, in a way. What's her opinion? Positive or negative? Positive, right? Okay, good. So just in your notes, you should have a positive. What is the first reason that she gives? Joy? Very good. So this is kind of the tricky part, is that she's really concerned about him. She likes the announcement. She thinks it's very appropriate for him. So she thinks that because he wants to go to grad school and he will become a TA, a teacher's assistant. Okay, very good, Jue. What's the second reason, Mark? What's the reason after that she gives? Why is this a great program? Oh yeah, well that's kind of the first one, right? That if he goes to grad school, he'll have to become a teacher's assistant. He's going to have to tutor or teach. So this is good for that. But what's the second reason? I like that, Mark. They expect you to know. She says something else. She says that in a different way. Did anybody hear the other way in which she said that? Mark is right in saying that they expect you to know how to teach. But I'm looking for another way that she said that. What about it? So there's no what, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. No what? No training in grad school. Right? There's no training. They don't train you. They don't teach you how to become a teacher's assistant. You should know how. Now, Marx is pretty correct there. However, this would be a little better if you could answer in this way, because it really is the main point. Because she mentions that he'll get a head